Paul Revere kept listening for the roar of the cannon or the shout of a ship officer, but he could hear nothing, and at last the boat was touched the shore. "We did it," Paul Revere said. "We did it." Right under their noses. Not far from shore, Paul met some men. They led him to Deacon Larned's house and gave him a horse. "You must be careful, sir," said one of them men. "There are redcoats on the road." Paul Revere said, "I will." As he got into the saddle, "Well, gentlemen, I must be off." And Paul began riding for liberty, past fields and meadows and farms. Brooks and streams flashed in the moonlight, and all the world there was no sound but the rush of the wind and the thud of the horses' feet on the road. Then ahead of him he saw two men on the horseback. Their pistols gleamed in the moonlight. "Soldiers," Paul Revere said. "Redcoats." One of the soldiers galloped towards him, and Paul Revere cut across the field near a swamp. He suddenly turned aside. He smiled as the horse behind him crashed into the swamp. Spurring on his horses, Paul Revere raced to another road. He came to a village of Medford. He stopped at a house and pounded on the door. And he shouted, "The redcoats are coming!" At every house, all the way to Lexington. To arms, the redcoats are coming, and every man reached for their rifle. They were Minutemen ready to fight. Women ran to the swamps with their children. Church bells rang. For the redcoats were coming, and the time had come to fight for liberty. And when the redcoats marched into Lexington, the Minutemen were there before them. A shot was fired, and a battle started. And the battle was started with a great war. For years the war went on, and when the war was over, there was a new country, the United States of America. It was a country without a king, and all the men could be free, and Americans never forgot Paul Revere, who rode under the midnight moon, riding for liberty.